What are you doing, Sam?
I got the microphone muted. It was probably a good thing. But what's up, everybody? It's me, Sam Martin, and I am on the scene here at the Prescott Executive Studios, and we have a very special guest. And today is a good day because it's not for a bad reason. And this is why you want to stay here and find out what's happening. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know before I go and get crazy on this. Without further ado, tell everybody who you are and what makes you famous.
Well, you're making me famous today, Sam.
Oh my gosh, man!
On the internet.
Got you in a bind over here.
Yeah, he's got me under arrest here. Bob Ticer is my name. Hi, everybody out there. Listen in. I'm the police chief here in Prescott Valley. It's my honor and to be in that position. And I'm a Arizona native. On top of that, we were talking about being from Arizona.
Being an Arizona native is a very, very good thing. And once again, guys, if you could hear me, let me make sure. Me and my buddy, we came in here. We wanted to set up all these cameras, and we wanted to make sure that it actually works. Hold on, let me make sure. I'm going in right now. I'm going in to make sure that this works, so we don't waste this moment or time. I know we should have probably just done it a little bit. All right, here we go. Yes, we're in. Okay, cool. Let's go. Okay, so being born and raised, or were you born in Prescott?
Born in Phoenix.
Born in Phoenix. Okay, so being born in Phoenix and then also coming back here to Prescott Valley, what was the idea and how did you find out about the job? Did it just come up or did somebody reach out to you and say, hey, I need you over here, Chief?
A little bit of both. A couple of years ago, I knew the Prescott Valley Police Chief position was opening. I'd heard about it, and then I had a couple of people that I know had mentioned it to me. And so my wife and I talked about it and said, you know what, there's an opportunity. Our kids are growing up now, and we're up in Colorado. This is where I'm from. This is where our kids were born at. This is where we built our first home. And I thought, you know what, there's an opportunity right here to come back full circle and come back to Prescott Valley. So at that point, there was really no other place I'd want to come back to other than home. So I put my name in the hat and was hired as the chief.
Oh, man. How did you feel when you actually got the job? You're like, what's going on here?
Man,
it must be.
I felt home. I felt home. When I went to Colorado, to be a police chief. So people only knew me as a police chief. Now I came back here to be a police chief, but I have buddies around the neighborhood and around the area that they're like, hey, we knew you as Bobby Ticer. We played football with you, baseball, basketball. We don't care that you're the chief. You're still Bobby Ticer. So I don't impress them with the title there. So
you're like, bro,
yeah,
come on, man.
Like,
I earned this. I earned this. And you know what? It's actually a pretty big deal. And now that Prescott Valley is the largest city, town, okay, we can't call it city yet because it's not in the name. So the largest town in all of Yavapai County. And that's kind of crazy because Prescott has actually held the seat as far as like the largest as far as population. With the growth, how are you feeling? Is it a crazy impact, or are you feeling the? Just tell me how it is. I mean, after all these years in watching Prescott Valley grow, is it different? Is it crazier? What is going on out there?
It's way different. When I was a kid, Prescott Valley and Bradshaw Mountain High School in particular was all the way down in Dewey.
Yes.
And growing up here in Prescott, we thought that was in a completely another state. It seemed so far away. It was just, there was a separation of land and then a little pocket of population down there. We didn't even have an interaction with that community as a kid. And then now being from that area of Prescott Valley, it just boomed. And so it's a challenge every day to keep up with the growth and the traffic and the businesses and the people. So it is a constant energy every day keeping up with the expansion out there.
And just yesterday or today, Mayor Cal posted saying, hey, we are talking about changing the speed limit in the area. And obviously the community is coming in and sharing what they believe is good, what they believe is not good. What is your take on the traffic in Prescott Valley? I went out there the other day on Glassford Hill, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm always fearful of just ruining my front end of my car because of the dips. But what is your thoughts and take on that?
Well, Prescott Valley boomed. It boomed like crazy. When I was a young highway patrol officer out there in the 90s working Highway 69, Prescott Valley was a small town with roads that were fine for the population out there. And then all of a sudden the community just boomed and is booming like crazy. So now we are having to catch up with road expansions and roadways and speed limits to deal with the flow of traffic, the huge influx of traffic and the people there. So it's now a constant catch up for that. So what you're seeing out there is our traffic engineers will be doing some traffic studies to look at the speed limits to see if they need to be increased, stay the same, decrease, whatever the case is. So we have a lot of people taking a look at that so that we can keep it good for the community and safe.
And when you talk about the community in its entirety, I mean, I feel like the town of Prescott Valley has done, grown a lot. And we were talking a little bit prior to this about crime in general, and having so many new people. I feel like Prescott Valley is really doing like is it like close knit community stuff? Is that what's going on out there? Do you feel like Prescott Valley's close, or do you feel like there's still a separation of just community oriented stuff to do?
I think there's a desire in the community for everyone to assimilate and be connected together. And I think the folks that are moving in and the people that have been there for a while are doing a pretty good job connecting with each other, because I've talked to so many people who have just moved here or are moving here, and they want to come into a community where they get that sense of community, where they know people. What I'm finding is a lot of people that come and talk to me is their police chief. They're like, wow, where we came from, we never had opportunity to interact with the police chief or the police department. I'm like, well, that's how we are out here. We're accessible. You can find me at the PD every day, just about every day. You can find our officers stopping and talking to community people and business people. So I think there's a real strong desire to be connected. And I think that's why a lot of people are moving there, because they want that really good quality of life and that sense of community. But it's going to be ever changing because there's so many people coming in from other places. So it's just a day-to-day effort of everybody getting connected.
Well, I mean, it also takes a great leader to go ahead and do so. And if you guys are taking the lead and the role of saying, hey, we want to go ahead and bring some things together. In some cases, just because growing up as a young child, I wasn't always like, oh my gosh, here comes the police. Oh, I was. And that's a whole nother story. I promise you guys, I'm not doing that any longer. But I'm telling you that these opportunities to go ahead and bring the community together, and sometimes people are looking at it like, I don't know if I want the police to know what I'm doing, or I don't want them to know exactly what's going on. But there's some signature events that you guys have been doing, and I'm just going to go ahead and talk a little bit about most of them. The last one that we actually we chatted with was the Punte de la Comunidad, the Hispanic Heritage event, which is it happens every September 15th, or this year it's going to be September 15th at Mountain Valley Park. And I definitely want to be a part of it, just like I told you last time. And that right there seemed to have brought so many like citizens to that that event. How do you like that event? Does it feel good to be a part of that? And what was the reception to the people engaging in that? Did they show you love? Did they show you like respect? I mean, how was that for you?
All of that, love and respect. And so what you're talking about, that Hispanic Heritage event, it's really designed to get our Hispanic community to come out together, get law enforcement to come out together, interact with each other, and build trust. And that's what's so important in a community that's safe, is having a trusting relationship with the police and with the community. Sir Robert Peel talked about that hundreds of years ago when he said, the police are the community and the community are the police. So if we're all together, we're going to have a safer community. And being from Arizona, being around people who are Hispanic, that culture for me is awesome, because I've never felt anything but welcoming from our Hispanic community when I've been a police chief. And so to be able to go out and show our love to them and they equal back to us, it's so nice. And then to break bread, a lot of relationships are built over eating together, and bringing music together. And Mr. Mexico has been there before, so there's just a relationship that goes into that, and we just are very grateful for that in our community, because that trust. If we have trust in the community, then we know that when a person is a victim of a crime, they're not afraid to call the police. If they don't have a trusting relationship with the police, they may not call when they've been a victim of a crime, and that's not good for our community. So we want to build that trust. So that's what we do every day.
And I believe that you guys are doing so. I mean, I know a few guys on the force, and it seems like they have been. I mean, I think that a lot of them have actually went to high school here, elementary here. How big is the force now?
We have about 110 people on Prescott Valley PD. 87 of those are sworn police officers, and the others are what we call our professional staff, our civilian members who support, records management, administration, and such. But 87 sworn officers, including myself. And I don't have the exact number, but I would say it's almost an equal split of police officers who are from this area, and then officers, the other half, from elsewhere. And it's a really nice blend. Especially when you talk to those young kids that are coming. I call them kids because I'm older now. I'm talking. They're police officers, but sometimes I call them young kids. But
the youngins,
yeah, these young police officers come up here, and I say, "Where are you from? How long you been here?" Well, I grew up here with the Bradshaw or with the Prescott. And I said, "Well, why are you working here? Why are you not in a larger city, let's say Phoenix or LA or someplace like that?" And I said, "Because they all tell me they want to be here because this is their community." So that it's kind of like me coming back as a chief. This is where I'm from. So to be able to serve the community of new people and community that you grew up with, it's pretty powerful. It's a lot of fun. It really gives you that sense of community when you do that.
And they also have like a little bit of an understanding of some of the residents that have been here long enough. I mean, let's just face it, Prescott Valley still right now is not that old compared to, other towns as far as Prescott or, in its entirety. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like the idea of bringing community together and also having these awesome, is it deputies or how would you say officers? Having officers on the staff it's kind of like a really awesome thing. What is it one thing that you're trying to get across to our community as a whole? What would be a message that you're trying to reach out there to the community?
Well, there's a couple messages. One is that the police can't solve everybody's problems. There's 87 of us, and there's 50,000 people that live in Prescott Valley, and tens of thousands of people coming in there to shop and visit. So really what the message I want is our community has to work together as a community, know each other, know their neighbors, work with each other, and then we'll support and help them to keep a nice community safe. And I think the second thing is I want our community to know that our officers are here because they want to be here. They want to have a relationship with our community. And fortunately, our calls for service here aren't as vast as a city with 1 million plus people. We have time to get out and interact with our public. So that's what our officers are doing when they're not busy with calls for service. We want them out talking to our businesses, talking with our community members, going into our schools, talking to the kids so they can build those relationships and that trust. So I want them to be approachable, and I believe our officers are approachable.
Wow. And I think that's what it's all about. I think that's how you keep that great relationship. And over the past couple years, obviously, we've been seeing a lot of things like, I hate to say most of the stuff online because sometimes I feel like I will get like strangled from the platform that we're on. But like defunding the police is something that nobody wants to hear. But at the same time, it's just like there's no reason to do that here in our local community because technically you guys are here to keep us civil and also safe. When you want to get connected to the community, what events do you think is probably signature for them? I don't know if you have a list on you, or have it in your mind, but the annual badges and bobbers. Like, do you go to that? Do you like?
I didn't make the last one, but I made the one before that.
Do you fish?
I fish.
Okay. This is gonna be a good one then. You'll be like, hey, I'm going to work.
Yeah, I gotta go fish. I gotta go to work.
I gotta go to work right now. And then you got a youth police academy. Tell a little bit about that.
Sure. There's a lot of people in a community that does not know what the police department really does. And then there's others that do. But what we want to do is continue to educate our community about what a police department's all about. So we do citizens police academies, and then we also do this youth academy, which is similar, but for youngsters to come in and learn about the police department. And it's also an opportunity to share what we do with these young kids so that if they have an interest in law enforcement, they may start that path right there and stay on the on the good side of the law and start setting their goals so they can be a police officer. Education, et cetera. And so that's one of the things we do. The fishing with the kids, we have a free fishing day. We partner with the Arizona Game and Fish Department. We have a fishing day at Fane Park. We bring in law enforcement from other agencies. You don't have to have a fishing license. Bring the kids out there and we fish with kids. And
That's awesome.
talk about that relationship building is a police officer and a kid fishing together. That builds a strong relationship right there. And hopefully that kid sees the police as a trusting group and then can get on as a productive person in society.
All right. And then we have, let's see, the Cops and Kids School Program. I read something the other day, or maybe I saw it on, because you like to do a podcast on YouTube. And I think that, I don't know if it was on there or if it was on the page itself. It was talking about how this, the police officers going into the schools have been such an awesome response that you're happy to go ahead and enlist a few more deputy or officers. So how's that going? How's that working?
It's going great. Once a month or so, me, others on the department, a handful of officers will go to a particular school that day and have lunch with the kids from kindergarten through 5th or kindergarten through 8th. And we sit down there and there's no agenda other than breaking bread with youngsters. And of course, I also like to go there because there's typically the pizza and the chocolate milk. What I get, and it makes me feel like I'm back at Washington.
He says, I got reasons to go
I'm
here.
Like, I'll talk to you later. I got to go have some pizza.
That is awesome.
And chocolate milk. But it brings that relationship with the kids. And if there's a child that's maybe scared of the police, something's happened in their life, and we want to show them that we're people, and we'll sit down and eat with them. We'll talk to them, give them a sticker, and just build relationships.
Wow, this is pretty cool. I mean, and Prescott Valley is literally a melting pot of just people from all over the state that are all over the country that are coming in and just doing, they're just like, here I am, And I mean, if you saw something that was out in Prescott Valley that was out of the ordinary, thinking that, hey, you're no longer in Kansas anymore, Dorothy, what do you think that was? What one story can you share with us that it's not going to hinder anything?
Man, you're coming up with I wasn't prepared for that question.
Okay, we can talk about that off the record.
I can tell you some crazy police stories, but not a lot specific to Prescott Valley.
All right. We'll go ahead and hold that for another one, my friend. Right. And I'll prepare you for this one. I was like, hey man, just put together one of the good stories. Yeah. So one of the things that the reason why you're here for the Prescott Times is because we want to get connected. We also want to go ahead and fill a void and fill that gap in regards to what's going on. Tell everybody that's out there that will watch this what sources of avenues that you have in order for you to go ahead and get information out to the community.
Right. So kind of like what we're doing right here, which I appreciate getting information out about the department, is we have a pretty robust Facebook site. I think we have around 18,000 viewers on there. So we connect in with the local media, but we also put information out typically daily. I see you're scrolling through it right there at the
18,000 followers.
18,000 followers on there. That's pretty good. We're putting information out through our community service group. We have a very robust group of people who spend a lot of time on the social networking part of it to share information, share about sometimes serious stuff, like we're looking for this person from serious crime. Other times it's a connectivity to the community of lost dog. Hey, we picked up this dog. If anybody knows the owners or you're the owner, please come get the dog, and we can connect those animals back with the public. And then we share information on our community outreach programs. We put safety tips out there as well. So that is one of our best avenues for connecting with the public. And then the second and more importantly is just those face-to-face interactions with our public, and also connecting with our home HOA groups and also block watches, and getting out and sharing information and being a resource for our community. Because again, if neighbors know each other, then there's less likelihood you're going to need the police to come in the neighborhood if they're all taking care of each other and paying attention to what's going on.
Wow. Well, this is a pretty cool interaction for not only me, but also for the community that's out here. If you guys have any more questions, how do people get a hold of you, and where do you like to go ahead and advocate like that for the community?
Are you talking about me personally?
Yeah.
Me personally. Well, one thing is I've evolved in policing is I'm back home. So I spend almost all of my work time here in Prescott Valley. Mm-hmm. Prescott, the region, interacting around here. So if you want to get a hold of me, come to the police department, you'll probably find me there. Very rarely am I outside of the jurisdiction going to a training or somewhere else. I've had opportunities to do a lot of that in my career. I like coming here to the department. So I'm pretty accessible. You can come to the department, ask for me, or you can call our phone number 772-5115 and set up an appointment, and I'll meet with anybody from the community and make myself available. And then, of course, I get out once or twice a week to have a meal in the community. I'm always in this uniform when I'm out and about. Most people know who I am when I come in, and I go have lunch, and I don't mind people stopping by. Obviously, I'm on the taxpayers' dime. They're the ones paying my salary, so please come see me at the lunch table, have a conversation, give me some feedback, good or bad, whatever's on their mind. And then you'll find me at sporting events. I'm still a big sport fan here in the community. Like this Thursday night, Prescott High School's coming to Bradshaw to play basketball, so I'll be there. I'll be supporting Prescott High School on this one because I played for Prescott High School, but only because I played basketball there.
Hey,
but I'll
it's
still
all right.
be there.
We're not
I'll
that
still
far
be
away.
there.
We're not that far
pretty
away.
close. So you can find me at events like that too. But I just want the community to know that myself and my department's part of the community. And we're right here. And, this isn't a big city where we're not available or there's too many barriers to get to us.
Yeah, and that's what I really love about our community still. I mean, even though there's 50,000 in your locate, well, I don't know if it's 50, but it's close to 50. And then there's like the same in Prescott, where I think we're like 2,000, 3,000 people less than Prescott Valley. But I still feel like we're still obtainable to go ahead and have a great conversation. Right. And I think that's why I'm still here in Prescott, Arizona, because I feel like we can make a difference.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to get too much bigger while I'm alive.
I don't know, a little bit. You got a ways to go.
We'll figure it all out. Well, anyways, I'm going to get you back to your business, and then we're going to get you guys back to your business. Thank you guys for tuning in to our little show, and it's San Martin on the scene, and this is what we like to do. And if you guys want to see me interview anybody else out there, let me know, because definitely I want to go ahead and sit down and talk with them. With that being said, thank you. Peace, love, and happiness. Let it not be war. And remember, love always wins. We'll see you guys later. Thank you.